Welcome back to James for Hire. I'm Matthew Perry alongside with me, the normal crew, Will, Jamil, and RJ. We are back again this week with our Week 11 predictions for the NFL season. A little update on the standings, where we sit after 10 weeks. Jamil's back in the lead this week, overtaking Will once again. He had a 9-5 week, moving to 95, 51, and 1 on the season. Will falls just one game back after a tough 7-7 week last week. He is now 94, 52 and 1. 74 would be a much different story.
And then ladder to climb.
Yeah. And then RJ and I are now tied for third. RJ had the best week of all of us, going 10-4. He is 92, 55 and 1. And I did not have too bad of a week either. I went 9-5, but it was enough for RJ to catch up to me. Him and I both sit 4 games back of the leader, Jamil. Teams on bye this week: the Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, New York Football Giants, and San Francisco 49ers. They won't be covered much unless we mention a past game or whatever the case is. We will hop right into the games we differ on. 7 games this week. At least somebody has a different opinion on. We'll start with the Thursday night game. RJ is all alone in choosing the Seattle Seahawks as they host the Arizona Cardinals. RJ, we'll start with you. Why are you going with the Seahawks?
I am shocked. Wow. All right. I love Kyler Murray. I love that guy. He bailed me out with a nice little bomb to DeAndre Hopkins to beat Buffalo. I was the only one that picked the Cardinals last week. And the emotions of such a awesome way to win a game, and now on a short week, you have to travel. You have to go to a division rival who, by the way, I know they lost to the Rams, but Russell Wilson's still good at football, right? Like we still think he's pretty decent. Seattle, they're going to have a bounce back game. Seattle needs a bounce back game. Arizona is primed for a letdown after a huge win over Buffalo. Yeah, man, wow. I didn't look at our picks. I'm actually really shocked you guys didn't pick Seattle.
This is my closest game.
This will be a high.
I'm with you. I might switch. I might switch before 8:20 tomorrow night. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might switch.
This is going to be probably one of the best Thursday night games we've had all season. I mean, most of them have been stinkers.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood that something stupid doesn't happen.
On paper, it finally looks like we're finally getting a good Thursday.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. But Jamil, since this is your closest game, what made you take the Cardinals just over the Seahawks?
Because I don't trust the Seahawks defense. I've said it once. I've said it again on here. I don't think their defense is good at all. That's why I think that they lose is gonna be why. It's because Kyler Murray is gonna single-handedly torch their defense, because I just don't think they can stop much.
My thing is, on RJ's point, he had mentioned that Seattle's in desperate need for a bounce back win, and he's not wrong. Seattle definitely needs something here, but that whole division needs a win. I mean, that whole division is now up for grabs. I mean, whenever the Rams beat Seattle, with the way that Seattle's kind of going down, with the way Arizona's playing up, I mean, that defense in LA, I mean, that division all needs wins, and I think they're all going to be throwing 100% out there, and like Jamil said, I just trust the defense of Arizona way more than I trust the defense of Seattle.
Yeah, and in our predictions at the beginning of the season, we had the NFC West being a tight race, and it's showing to be one so far, at least as the season develops. Moving to the 1:00 games on Sunday, we have the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Washington football team. RJ, you're all alone again, this time going with the football team. Why?
This one I can kind of understand. I get it. I get it. Joe Burrow. I get it. T. Higgins. They're starting to click. They're starting to, get more reps. The longer they've been out there, they're starting to really put it together. Cincinnati is starting to show some signs of life. I get it. But there has been a running theme on this show the first, 10 weeks now we've done this. Cincinnati's offensive line is equivalent to 5 traffic cones. Washington's defensive line is disgusting. It is absolutely gross. Chase Young is going to have a field day. That dude is going to have 3 sacks. He might record a murder. It's going to be ugly. I don't trust Washington to go out there and score a bunch of points, although they put up a really good fight against Detroit. They did a lot better offensively last week than I thought they would have done. This isn't going to be a high scoring game, but when you look, football is a game of matchups, right? And when you look at Cincinnati's offensive line and you look at Washington's defensive line, that is a recipe for Joe Burrow to be on his back a lot.
Fair. I don't disagree with that at all. We'll go to you, Will, since you're the big Joe Burrow guy in this group. Why are you going with the Bengals besides Joe Burrow? Give me something else.
No, definitely. I really like this Washington football team, man. And now, especially with Alex Smith at quarterback, it's got to be a feel-good story. I was a really big Alex Smith guy whenever he was with San Fran, whenever he was with KC. I mean, I've always been big on Alex Smith even though he's never won anything. It's just a quarterback that I've really liked, and I really like seeing that he's back now. I mean, at this point, I think Washington's in best hands with Alex Smith, and they played very well against Detroit. I mean, it is kind of hard to go up against it, but where RJ nailed he nailed it right on top of the head, man. He said that it's a game of matchups, and it really is. And yes, this Washington football team defensive line is significantly better than the offensive line of Cincinnati, but I can tell you what, the wide receivers of Cincinnati are significantly better than that secondary in Washington. So if Joe Burrow can find enough time to make something happen, I trust Joe Burrow more than I trust Alex Smith and the rest of this offense. I love some of the pieces over there in Washington. Antonio Gibson really catches my eye. Alex Smith, I've already said. But I just trust the big game and the big offensive upside that Joe Burrow brings. And so I'm going to take Cincinnati just over Washington. I think it'll be a close game, though. It's another close game that I wasn't 100% confident in, but I'm going to go with Joe Burrow and Cincinnati over there.
Moving to a big division matchup, in division, that is, the Atlanta Falcons are taking on the New Orleans Saints. A Drew Brees-less New Orleans Saints. Will, you're all alone for this one on your own little island in Atlanta. Why are you going with the Falcons?
Woo, why wouldn't I? I knew Jamil wasn't, so I got to find a way to get across there. But other than that, whenever I'm actually looking at this game, I think Jameis Winston's going to be a better answer than Drew Brees in New Orleans. I really do. I think with the way Drew Brees has been playing this season, I think Jameis Winston's going to add a whole different element to that offense. I think the explosiveness is going to come out, and I think it's going to be a good recipe over there for New Orleans. But I think it's going to take a game. I think it's going to take a little bit. I think Jameis Winston's going to have to get his feet back into the starting position. Yes, we saw him take a couple of reps down there at secondary after Drew Brees got out. Nothing too spectacular, nothing too crazy, but I think it's going to be Atlanta, and I'll take the high-scoring Atlanta offense before I take a New Orleans team with a brand new quarterback. It's going to be the first time where we finally see Jameis Winston fully under center. For some reason, there's still people saying that Taysom Hill could start. And if Taysom Hill is named the starter of that week, I will definitely take Atlanta. That would just make me want to take Atlanta even more. But until then, I'll take the upside of the offense for Atlanta before I take the Saints.
They pay Taysom Hill like he's supposed to start, but we've yet to see something like that.
Terrible.
Yeah, bad. Jamil, as the certified Falcon hater here, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, obviously what brings us to points about the Falcons offense being good, but I think that the Saints defense is going to know they have to step up with Drew Brees gone. I think they're going to get the job done. I think it's going to be too much Alvin Kamara on the ground and in the air for the Falcons to stop him, and I think it will be a Saints victory.
Every time
the Saints don't have an elite defense, but I think their defense is good enough. And I'm just going to throw this out there real quick. Do you guys remember in 2015 when Peyton Manning got hurt and Brock Osweiler came in and was better than Peyton Manning? I think we might have that situation in New Orleans this year. Drew Brees, I love him. He's a top 10 all-time quarterback, first ballot Hall of Famer. He cannot throw a football anymore. Jameis Winston can sling it. He doesn't always sling it to the right team, but he can sling it. And so I do think we might have a Brock Osweiler situation on our hands where come playoff time, there might be a decision that needs to be made.
I made this prediction on the other show that I'm on because they asked me for a hot take, and I'll repeat it here. I think we've seen our last game with Drew Brees. I think we have. I think he's done. I mean, that's a very.
They won't bench him. They will not bench him.
There's no way they bench him.
No matter how good Jameis plays, it's gonna be like last year. Jameis Winston will have to be better than what Teddy Bridgewater did last year, and Teddy Bridgewater went undefeated, and they still didn't bench him. So there's no way.
I understand that they wouldn't bench him, but they also say they're optimistic about a 2 to 3 week return.
But he's not coming back in 3 weeks.
This man fractured 5 ribs and collapsed a lung. Yeah. I mean, this guy's not coming back.
Who are you taking in the playoffs, though? Drew Brees or Jameis Winston? I mean,
Well,
Like a healthy Jameis Winston over a battered and broken over a battered.
Here's my thing.
It's still
You're
Drew
not
Brees.
going to bench Drew Brees.
No.
Drew Brees is the reason that the New Orleans Saints are what they are.
100%.
He resurrected that franchise from being absolutely horrific. My point is they are going to give him plenty of time to get healthy because I think they understand he's just not that good anymore.
I think what RJ is trying to say is that, yes, he thinks Winston's going to step up, kind of like what I said. Winston's going to step up and bring a new element to the offense. And I think it's going to be a Brock Osweiler situation afterwards to where he's going to play so well that some other team's going to give him that bag. I don't know if he may sit around in New Orleans, but he's only on a 1-year deal, and if he continues to play well and Drew Brees is out longer than 3 weeks, 4 weeks, which we all agree on that he probably will be, it's a bad injury. I mean, it's nothing to, come back from right away. It's broken ribs. It's a collapsed lung. This isn't like something 2 to 3 weeks. I don't want to hear that. Like that seems very unrealistic for me. So I think if he plays well, if he keeps getting dubs, if the statistics are there, I don't see why any team doesn't take a chance on him, especially with like Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew. I mean, there's other teams with worse quarterbacks. I mean, somebody's got to take a chance on him.
Drew Brees returns for the wild card round of the playoffs. That's his next game he plays. He does not play another regular season game for the New Orleans Saints. And not when you've got Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston that can both do their own thing. Drew Brees will be back for the playoffs.
If he is cleared to come back and the Saints aren't playing bad, similar to the Bridgewater situation, there's no reason to bring Brees back before that. There's no reason. The way how old he's getting, with how the severity of the injury, there's no reason to rush him back, especially if Winston's out there winning games.
Exactly.
With the severity of Drew Brees' injury, you kind of have to think that he's going to retire after the season. I don't think that would surprise anybody at this point. Yeah. And with Winston only having a 1-year deal, that leaves you with either re-signing Winston or riding with Taysom Hill, who you've already put money into, but as much less.
Yeah, the Saints have no money though, so that's the problem.
That's the problem.
Negative cap.
Yeah. So do you think they let Winston walk, Brees retires, and now Hill is the quarterback of the Saints?
Hey, don't
listen. As a Bucs fan and as a Panthers fan, yeah, I hope Taysom Hill's the starter. I'll just say that.
They'll figure something
out. Money on it.
I think if it gets to that situation and Taysom Hill's the only quarterback in that quarterback room, they're drafting one.
Yeah,
there's no way that they're going to let Taysom Hill be the only guy. For some reason, that Saints team really loves Taysom Hill, but I don't think they're actually confident enough to have him play quarterback 6.
He's cool to come in every few plays, but he's not a starting quarterback.
The idea of his versatility can win over anybody, but once you put it all together, it's not that impressive.
The problem is that defenses know that whenever he steps in, it's a run play. It's going to be an option. Yeah. Like everybody knows exactly what's coming with Taysom Hill, and so I mean, he's not going to sit there in the pocket and go throw passes. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a play action boot. It's going to be an option play, like something. It's going to be something tricky. So, I mean, until we actually see him play under center and actually take reps as an actual quarterback, no, I don't think Saints are going to do that. There's no way.
Moving on to the next game, Will, be sure to stay on that island because you're all alone in support of the Houston Texans as they take on the New England Patriots.
Nice.
I thought you learned your lesson with this team.
Yeah,
I have not.
I'll let you go right back into it.
No, the Patriots are terrible. I don't care if they beat Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore didn't show up to that game. That's not the Baltimore Ravens team we know. We all took Baltimore. We know that's not the Baltimore team we know.
Neither team could be trusted.
What's that?
Neither team could be trusted. You can't trust the Texans any less than the Patriots, though.
If you're going to take the shiniest of two turds, I'm going to take Houston just because of that. I don't know why. This is another team. This whole week has a lot of games where it's just like, you got to pick one. I mean, if you have to pick a winner, you have to pick a winner. And at the end of the day, I don't trust New England. I trust New England. I shouldn't trust Houston, and I don't. But I definitely don't trust New England. There's nobody on that offense. Cam Newton at least looked better this game. Still didn't look great, and I still won't take Cam Newton in that awful offense out there in New England. I mean, their wide receiver core is led by a guy named Jacoby Myers. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know. They're missing so many pieces. They don't have anything out there that really kind of stands out to you. Damian Harris has been like the one bright spot of that offense, and he's kind of showed out a little bit. But no, I'm going to take Houston. I'll take Michael Jordan Watson before I take Cam Newton.
RJ, we'll go right back to you. With
RJ's two favorite quarterbacks. He doesn't know what to do.
Exactly. These are my two favorite quarterbacks. I love these guys. And I just, you mentioned it. Listen, the Patriots have no weapons. They only have one weapon, and his name's Cam Newton. Deshaun Watson has some weapons, but man, they can't get that team figured out. Like listen, the Houston Texans are in such bad shape right now. I'm to the point they need to trade Deshaun Watson. When you have Michael Jordan, you can't trade him. I get it. But how are you going to build this team? You don't have a first or a second round pick this year. Deshaun Watson is his talent is absolutely through the roof. The sky is the limit with this guy. Or as Michael Jordan said, the ceiling is the roof. Michael Jordan or Deshaun Watson, he is so good. He's so talented. He is the perfect quarterback in today's NFL, and he's wasting away in Houston. So I don't think they would trade him because that would be like the Red Sox trading Babe Ruth. But it's man, you got to start considering it because you could get a haul for Deshaun. But no, I will take New England's defense. They will find a way to stop Deshaun once, and that'll be the difference.
I know a blue and orange team that would like a second chance at Deshaun Watson.
I know a team in North Carolina that would like a chance to bring that boy back to the Carolinas.
I know a team in Carolina that's going to be tanking for Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, funny you say that. I have some explaining to do for this one.
Who the hell? You took Carolina? All right.
Listen. All right. Listen. All right. So, yes, I did take Carolina. I'm alone in taking the Panthers for this against the Lions. Okay. I don't have much to say here. Looking at the numbers, looking at all the Matty stats I could, everything benefits the Lions. And
you went digging for Matty stats on this.
I dug harder.
You probably had an Excel sheet. Gotta find the numbers. Gotta find the right numbers. Found them.
I have dug harder more on this one than I had all season. The Panthers have lost 5 straight games. The Lions have scored 20 plus in most of their games this season, and the Panthers have given up 20 plus in 5 straight games. Not much good to say here.
To be fair, everything pointed to Chicago.
Yeah, and now Carolina's quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, he's injured. RJ, who's the starting quarterback this weekend?
It's gonna be PJ Walker, the pride of the
XFL.
The Houston Rednecks. They're the Rednecks, right?
So
Rednecks, same thing.
I had to separate myself, so I went with this one. And 2, if PJ Walker could find success in the XFL, why not the NFL? What's the difference, right?
I can tell you why not, but okay. I'm just gonna disregard that. Disregard that.
I don't really think I need to go to one of you guys to cover the Lions, but Jamil, just give me the best you got on.
Well, if Matthew Stafford's playing, the Lions are just superior. But if Matthew Stafford's not playing, I might ride the PJ Walker train. So to be determined on who I pick right there. It depends on who plays quarterback for the good old Lions.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you now it's most likely going to be Matthew Stafford, but I had to be a little different on that one. And speaking of being different, I'm going to stay different on this one. The Tennessee Titans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I got to go with my Titans here, and I happen to be the only one.
Shocker.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are 6-3. Both teams have had a few, you could say, shocking losses. I don't think anyone expected the Ravens to lose to the Patriots. I know we didn't. The Baltimore Ravens defense has been really good, but if there's one person, I mean, if they can't, how do I word this? If there's one person they can't stop, it's going to be Derrick Henry. I mean, he's cooled off a little bit, you could say. I know he had a really hot start, but he's still a top 3 running back in the league right now. Him, Dalvin Cook, and a mix of whoever else has a good week. But yeah, I mean, these are 2 very even teams, I think, in my opinion. I think the Ravens have the better defense, but the Titans definitely have a better offense. Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP, is not playing like it at all this season. He's not what everyone thought he would be. I feel bad for fantasy owners. I've heard quite a few people complain about that. I mean, I see no problem with taking the Titans. I don't blame you guys for picking the Ravens, but I got to stick with my boys on this one. I do think they'll be able to carry out the victory. Will, I'll go to you on the Ravens.
Defense wins championships. No matter how bad that Lamar Jackson's playing, I mean, yes, he is still the reigning MVP, whatever. I don't care about that. The Titans defense is not great. No matter what, they're being held in by an offense that's firing on a lot of cylinders right now. AJ Brown's looking really good. Ryan Tannehill's not playing like a bum that a lot of people think that he would play like. Derrick Henry, of course, already mentioned. But I don't see why the defense can't shut down this team. I'd say that the defense of the Baltimore Ravens is so much more superior than the defense of the Tennessee Titans that it's going to be more of a one-sided game than we realize. I think it's going to be it's just like every other team. You're going to commit to trying to stop the run whenever it comes to Derrick Henry, and you're going to try to put the game in Ryan Tannehill's hands. And I'll trust the secondary over that Tennessee wide receiver core before I take the Titans.
Fair. And moving to our last game that we differ on, golf season is now in prime time. The LA Rams are visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday.
You picked them.
I know.
I gotta hear this.
Will and myself picked the Rams. Will's not alone.
What?
I could not leave Will alone on this one. And then the two others, of course, RJ and Jamil, you guys did pick the Buccaneers. RJ, we'll start with you. Why the Buccaneers?
Because they're better. Listen, this is the Bucs. They pushed everybody away when they got blown out by the Saints, and then they go and hang a 40 burger on that team in North Carolina, and now everybody wants to jump back on. I don't know what you two are thinking. I understand the Rams had a nice little win over Seattle. Listen, Seattle's a division opponent that they see twice a year, every year. You're going to match up well with division opponents. When you play teams that you don't play every year, then it comes down to who's got the talent, who's going to be able to make more plays. And if you just look, I mean, on paper, the Bucs are far superior in talent on offense and defense than the Rams. I will not pick Tom Brady to lose to Jared Goff. I am shocked. When I saw that Will was picking the Rams, I almost fell out of my chair.
Almost fell on my chair taking him.
I don't understand this. I think the Bucs are a lot better than the Rams. And this is what they do. If you look at the Bucs, if you're one of those that doesn't really care about football and you just look at like weird stuff, the Bucs lost week 1, won 2 straight. Then they lost to the Bears, won 2 straight. Then they lost to the Saints. Hey, they beat the Panthers. This would be their second win. And then they lose next week to the Chiefs. But they're going to win on Monday night, and they're going to beat the Rams Monday.
Well, it's kind of a shocker to everybody that you went with the Rams, considering how much you hate their starting quarterback.
Yep.
I have to get your opinion on this.
Let's just get this out of the way. It's by no means because of Jared Goff. Let's get that out of the way right now. It's the defense. The defense is everything about that. I've seen Tom Brady play in a couple of games, and whenever that pass rush comes screaming at him, he doesn't know what to do. He's very upset because he does not have an offensive line like he had in New England. I mean, the guy does not get the kind of blocks that he used to see. We've seen the guy spike his helmet. We've seen the guy act out. We've seen the guy do all types of stuff whenever he's getting pressured. I think the pressure from the Los Angeles Rams defense is going to be too much for Brady. I think it's going to be a very close game. I don't think this is going to be a one-sided game by any means because I don't trust Jared Goff to put up enough points against the Tampa Bay Bucs defense. But I haven't seen Brady play well under pressure, and I have yet to see it. And so because of that, this is a Rams team that can bring a lot of pressure to number 12, and I think they'll do it. I think they're going to be looking at a lot of different blitz schemes. I think they're going to be giving Tom Brady a lot of different looks that they might not see. And just because of that, I like the defensive outlook for the Rams. They're one of the better defensive pairings in the league. I mean, they're one of the best defensive units out there when it comes to total yards, when it comes to passing yards, rushing yards, everything, the whole nine. So I'm going to go with the Rams. I would say outplaying on the defensive side of the ball over the Bucs.
I want to say one thing about the pass rush. The 2 games that, Tampa lost, or three, it's 2 different teams. The pass rush, those teams, if you look at them, their best pass rushers came from the outside. I think Cameron Jordan is easily the best pass rusher on the Saints. And then Khalil Mack is by far the best pass rusher on the Bears. I think he's the best pass rusher in the league. Those guys came from the outside, and they got to bully trash-ass number 76 Donovan Smith all day. Well, Aaron Donald's an inside guy, and I actually kind of like Tampa's center and guards. So I don't think Aaron Donald is going to get as much pressure on Brady as Khalil Mack and Cameron Jordan got, just because of the matchup. Again, football's a game of matchups. Now, if they put Aaron Donald out wide and put him on Donovan Smith, Tom Brady might as well just sit the game out and let Blaine Gabbert play. But as far as, the pass rush, I think that's going to be worth watching. And I think people are going to realize just how terrible Donovan Smith really is.
My thing with that is that Aaron Donald, no matter who he's going up against, will beat every single offensive lineman in a one-on-one, no matter what. So no matter what,
one-on-one him. You cannot.
No matter what,
him.
he's going to require at least two people, and I trust enough people on that Rams defense to get at him. Leonard Floyd's been playing well. Akumbu has been playing well as a linebacker spot. I mean, there's a lot of players that could come at you from that Rams defensive front. I think that front seven is going to be dangerous, especially whenever you mention the soft tackles that the Bucs have.
I do have several Matty stats for this that I wanted to get in really quick because we're gonna have to put a little second term on this.
We're gonna have to restart the second one.
The Rams have allowed fewer than 25 points in 7 of their 9 games this season. That's tied for third most in the NFL. Tampa Bay has 120 quarterback pressures this season, according to Next Gen Stats. That's the second most in the NFL. When under pressure, Jared Goff has a 37.1 passer rating. Very bad. Very bad. What else do I have here? Tom Brady is the only quarterback Aaron Donald has faced multiple times and failed to register a sack or win a game against, including the playoffs. I think that changes on Monday. And Tom Brady is 3 for 30 on deep passes, that being 20-plus yards in the air. Since week 5, all 3 of those this season, all the completions, that is, came week 7 against the Raiders. He's yet to stretch it out against any other team in more than one game. So that's definitely something to watch, especially since LA has a not so bad secondary. Guys like, Jalen Ramsey, and then I'm forgetting one guy. I know I'm completely blanking, but moving on to the games that we all agree on, we'll try to hit this quick. Starting at the 1:00 hour on Sunday, the Pittsburgh Steelers are taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pretty simple one here. The only undefeated team left in the NFL, that being the Pittsburgh Steelers. Therefore, all 4 of us took them. Jamil, why did we pick the Steelers?
Because it's the Steelers versus the Jags. Nothing else to be said. Let's keep it moving.
There you go. Keeping it moving. On to 2 teams that honestly probably disappoint a mass following every week, yet all of us are undisputed, going with the Cleveland Browns as they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. This one wasn't super far off for me. I feel like this could go either way on any given week.
This game's going to stink.
It's not going to be fun. But RJ, I'll get your thoughts. Why did we pick the Browns?
Yeah, no, I agree. I could 100% see Philadelphia win this game. I'm not going to pick that. I think at the end of the day, Philly is just playing like trash. I think everybody told Philly that, hey, you guys are the best team in your division. You're the best team in your division. And maybe they're letting their foot off the gas. I don't know what it is, honestly. The Eagles suck right now. The Browns aren't very good, but they're better than the Eagles.
Fair point. Moving to Sunday at the 4:00 hour. RJ, I'll let you have this one again. It's your favorite team. The Jets are back from their bye week, which they probably lost. We wouldn't be surprised. They're taking on Justin Herbert and the Chargers. All 4 of us are going with the Chargers. Why is that?
This could be the week the Jets win.
My God.
Really?
They can win this game.
No.
Really?
The Jets can win
They're
this
not
game.
this bad.
Did you see Justin Herbert's haircut?
I did. I'll give you that one. They might lose because of that.
That dude has low self-esteem. He is not confident in himself. They might lose to the Jets.
I don't know why.
This may be the game. Yeah. This may be the game the Jets win, because if you look at their schedule, they're not going to win another game this year. It might be this week that they beat the Chargers.
But you're just saying that because he got a haircut, right?
Yeah.
No, the Chargers are the Chargers aren't that good either. Like, what are we doing?
They're not as bad as the Jets.
They're not bad. Like, they're not that bad.
No one's as bad as the Jets. But this is the only chance the Jets have to win a game this year.
Jets' best chance was against the Patriots.
I mean, if we're going by haircuts here, Cam Newton's is terrible. Let's
not get disrespectful. No, let's not get disrespectful.
What is that? What's the whole thing?
Don't get disrespectful. Let's not get on your haircut. My
haircut's fine. I just don't do it for appearances.
Maybe
start hating on Cam Newton.
Maybe you should look up the word style, Matt.
Yeah, I'll start hating now.
Listen, I respect the grandma drip, the little Red Riding Hood.
You're being real disrespectful right now.
Listen,
And he's gonna find you. He's gonna find you. And now I'm not gonna feel bad when he finds you.
Can he find me? He can't even find half his receivers.
I'm gonna send him these clips.
No,
He
He's
doesn't
gonna
have
get the
any
roasting.
receivers.
He's gonna get the roasting.
There's
I'm not
people
gonna
out there and he
apologize.
still can't
He's gonna
find
get
me.
you.
Come for me, Cam Newton. I don't care.
So we all
Okay, you don't care. Good. You don't
He's got Foot Locker
care.
employees
I'm a
running go routes. Like, what are we doing? Are you kidding me right now?
So we all agree the Jets are going to lose.
Yeah, the Jets are going to lose. Jesus Christ. Like, I still think the Jets are going to lose. Like, I just said it might be a close game because this is their only chance to win a game this year. Like, come on.
Just became a shit fest on campus.
Jesus Christ. What are we doing? The Chargers are still going to win, by the way, everybody. Like, the Chargers are still going to win.
Everything got thrown off. Are you messaging him right now?
Tell him to contact me. Tell him to call me. I got some.
Send him his
something
ad.
to say.
Send him his ad on Instagram. There you go.
It's not 2015. I can't.
We need to clip this.
Can
I guarantee if we clip this and we tag Cam Newton, we might get a
Get to
response.
roasting.
Yeah, and he'll do that stupid font where like he does all those little stupid characters.
Then you're still hating on him.
I'm still hating from the top rope. Cam Newton, Hell in a Cell. Meet me. War Games coming up soon. Meet me. Let's go.
If Pat McAfee can do it, throw Cam in.
Fuck it. Yeah, if Pat McAfee could do it, so can Cam Newton and I. Fuck it. I don't care. I'll meet you. Orlando's an hour from me. I got you. War
Give me
Games.
the next game.
What is it? December 6th or 7th, something like
Give me
that.
to the next game.
All right. One of the hottest men in football. Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Statistically.
I'm out of here.
Oh,
Y'all have a good night. I'm done.
Oh, yeah, statistically.
What are we doing?
Because we're still talking about football, believe it or not. But yes,
Are we?
statistically,
What has happened?
hottest in football.
You're off
Tua,
the rails.
Can you mute him?
he-
Can't.
he's taking
He's
on
the
the-
host.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I run this
Oh my
place right now.
God.
And for the
Flick
next-
around the horn. Someone's
for the
got to
next
get
couple
muted.
minutes.
And it needs to be him.
But listen, focus. Let's
We were.
take a deep breath. Statistically the hottest man in football, one of them, Tua, off to a great start, looking to become the first 4-0 quarterback of the last forever since Ben Roethlisberger. He is taking on the Denver Broncos. Drew Lock will not be playing, from my knowledge. He is injured and will not be in. All four of us went with the Dolphins. No surprise there, really. Will, what are your thoughts on this game?
The Broncos without Drew Lock are bad. The Broncos with Drew Lock aren't great. And the Miami Dolphins are on a hot streak. They're really making a push for a wild card spot, maybe even the division. Maybe see how Buffalo can do here in the later stretch. So, yeah, Miami has a lot more to play for than the other team across. So, yeah, it's got to be Miami.
Solid points. Can't argue with that. Moving to another game of the 4 o'clock hour. This one I could honestly see going either way, but
How hot are these quarterbacks?
these quarterbacks aren't great, but it's the running back of the home team that is also one of the hottest in the game statistically. That being Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings. All four of us did go with the Minnesota Vikings over the Dallas Cowboys, but you never really know with the Cowboys. RJ, I'll go with you for this one.
Actually, I'm going to pull an executive move here. And speaking of going either way, I'm going to let you handle this one, Matt.
You're asking me why I think the Vikings should win?
Yeah, why not?
All right. I mean, Dalvin Cook is probably the best answer, considering he's had a great past few weeks. The Vikings now won, 3 straight?
I don't know. You're the Dalvin Cook guy. I don't know.
No, I mean.
He didn't have a great week last week.
Andy Dalton's back, by the way, for Dallas, and he sucks. Next game.
Accurate. Any quarterback other than Dak Prescott sucks in that team. I don't want to hear it.
Correct.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, Vikings. I mean, they're hot right now. If somebody's going to answer it, I'll answer it. The Vikings are hot right now. The Vikings have a lot more to play
I was
for.
getting there. I said they won 3
You
straight.
took too
I
long.
mean,
Next game.
Not as hot as Tua, though.
I've heard. But no, right now, I mean, the Vikings have a lot to play for. The Vikings are officially a playoff contender. You know, they started off terribly. This is a team that nobody saw being this bad, and now they're finally playing like they should be. Finally, the Bears, somebody shut down Dalvin Cook, held him to 3.2 yards a carry, which is really good for Dalvin Cook standards, and Kirk Cousins actually played decent. Don't want to get into why. Don't want to get into my team, but the Vikings are hot right now. They stand way better of a chance than the Chicago Bears do right now. They have a great chance at making a wild card spot because I can't imagine all three teams are going to make it into the postseason out there in the NFC West. And again, that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to that third place NFC West team and whoever's second in the NFC North. I think the Vikings have a lot more to play for now, and they could find a way to win this game too because Dallas stinks. That whole division stinks.
Moving to the last game of the 4:00 hour, we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. This one, like a few of the other ones, could be seen as going either way, depending on the circumstances during the game. All four of us did, however, go with the Green Bay Packers. Jamil, I'll let you take this one.
This one's actually probably going to be a pretty good game. You got the Packers offense versus the Colts defense, two of the better units in the game going at each other. And for me, it's going to be the same thing as last week. Can the Colts get enough offense out of Phillip Rivers and their run game that hasn't been good at all this season? Jonathan Taylor, Jordan Wilkins, they've been struggling. Naheem Hines came in. He played a hell of a game versus the Titans. And their defenses just seem stepped up again. So this week, can they do that again and score points, or will Phillip Rivers have to do more work? And I think if the Packers defense can make Phillip Rivers beat them, they will win the game.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers has really been the key to winning or losing, it seems, because when he's good, they play well all around and win, but when he plays bad, everything just seems to fall apart and they wind up losing pretty badly. At least that's how it's
They have
been.
a hell of a defensive unit that if they had a somewhat competent quarterback consistently, they'd probably be like the second team to beat in the AFC behind Kansas City.
Yeah, they have a decent future. They just have to get a few more pieces together, honestly.
They need to get a stable quarterback.
Yeah, that being one of the pieces.
That's a big one.
Yeah, but we'll wrap it up with the Sunday night game. The Chiefs are in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. As we all remember, the Raiders gave the Chiefs their first loss this season earlier this year. However, all four of us did wind up going with the Chiefs. Will, why don't you take us home on this one?
I said the Raiders are going to finish 12-4. I've said it. I've said they're going to win 9 of their last 10. This is the one game that they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose this game. I can't imagine Kansas City's going to let 2 of them get away from them. That'd be huge for Las Vegas. I mean, this would be absolutely monumental if they can pull it off again. I think this would be absolutely amazing for momentum. I think that would almost guarantee the fact that they go at least 12-4. They have a really soft schedule after this. They're riding a really high streak, but Kansas City. I'm going to take Kansas City before I take the Raiders again. I just trust Kansas City more. But after this, look out for those Raiders. I think they're going to be dangerous.
I'll be honest. I have not looked at the Raiders' schedule. Did you just say they're going to go 12-4?
Yep. After this game, they will not lose another. I can promise you.
I mean,
I will take them every single week. They play. I know they play the Broncos twice. I want to say they play New England once in there. I want to say they play the Jets.
No, they already did.
Ooh, they already played who? New England?
New England, yeah.
Okay, well then I want to say they play the
Jets. Play the Falcons, the Jets, the Colts, the Chargers, the Dolphins, and the Broncos.
They could definitely win 9 of 10 there. Wow. Yeah. That's
the only one other than KC that puts any question mark in my head is Indianapolis.
And Miami.
No, I'll still take Las Vegas over Miami.
Well, we'll see.
That's fine. Whenever we get to that week, I'm still taking. I'll promise you right now. I'll promise you right now. I will take the Raiders.
Interesting.
I don't know what week that is, but I will take the Raiders.
I mean, that
depends how hot Tua still is.
All right.
All right, but yeah. So those have been our Week 11 predictions for the NFL. Lots of differences this week. We could see quite a few moves in the standings heading to next week. But for now, I've been Matthew Perry alongside, as mentioned, the boys, Will, RJ, and Jamil. We've been the GMs for Hire, and we will see you next time.